Welcome back to the Debatable Podcast, MC War.
The official sport of rap battling.
Man, listen, man.
Debatable.
Yeah, it was a great weekend, man. Great weekend. The classic battle finally took place. Arsonal Vs Murda Mook. Everybody's waiting for it to drop for the public to see. And the people saying right now, Murda Mook got it. That's what's being said right now. I'm wondering, was Big Meech there?
Yeah, I want. Oh, that's crazy, right?
Yeah, because the whole thing about what I'm saying, his Calico's father being connected to BMF and all of that.
Well, hopefully his record is clean. You know what I mean? His paperwork is clean, and that's something to be talked about.
So, we want to shout out new battle release on versetracker.com, man. D.I. the Hennyman Vs Lotto. Shouts out to 32 Bars Battle League. 32 Bars. Okay. Yeah, on the 32 Bars League out of Charlotte, North Carolina.
32 Bars. Shouts out, man.
32 bars.
Y'all league owners, man. Y'all tap in, man. Let's talk about some things, man.
Facts.
Man. Okay.
Out of Charlotte, North Carolina.
D.I.
They put on D.I. the Hennyman Vs Lotto.
Hennyman.
Shouts out D.I. the Hennyman, who's tag team with Ryda before to go against Danny Myers and Jim B. Dot. Shouts out to Ryda. This is Ryda from back in the day. I haven't seen him in a minute. If it's the same guy that came out of Brooklyn, Ryda, and then he wound up coming through the PG at URL.
Okay.
And he started getting a name for himself, and then I don't know what took place. I don't know what happened.
What happened to that boy?
Yeah.
What happened to that boy?
Yeah, but he was doing
It made me
his
think
thing.
about Charles Hamilton. I just saw him wow.
Exactly.
Going through the gram. Charles Hamilton, when he came to Serius Jones Barbershop, thought he was about to catch an easy one.
Right.
And Jones wasn't playing.
Nah, he definitely
He had
wasn't.
them clippers on, and he then clipped it on and then unloaded, and Charles Hamilton knew it was on.
I'm not rapping, go ahead.
So all those who click play, listen to the big day where this 6'2" big gay nigga finally meets the sensei.
Okay. Come on, man. I told you I was done with battling, but here he goes again, trying to rebeat Charles Hamilton. Damn again. You need to start janitoring. Maybe take them clothes off and put them back on that thrift shop mannequin.
What happened to that boy?
Yeah, this the rider that I thought it was. 100,000 average battles. I'm sorry, average per battle, 100,000 views.
Okay.
36 total battles.
Wow.
Catalog.
Okay.
3 million total views. Yeah, so Ryda battle.
Right.
Let me tell you who Ryda.
He got numbers up
I'm
there.
gonna tell you where I learned about Ryda, which was We Go Hard TV. Shouts out to We Go Hard TV. A lot of young guys came out of there too, man. A lot of young guys that hit Smack's platform came from We Go Hard TV. I don't know. I thought they was like affiliated because I used to see We Go Hard TV. Remember before some of the Smack URL battles? So I don't know. Maybe the guy used to do footage for them, etc. But then they also had Jerry West. So on that, matter of fact, Ryda battled Jerry West on We Go Hard TV.
Battled.
He also battled the Saga. And D.I. the Hennyman been putting up numbers because D.I. the Hennyman he's got an average of 18,000
on Verse Tracker
total views. Average. So he's got cataloged 48 battles. And I apologize, 13,860 views per battle is what he averages, and a total of 665,000. So yeah, he's putting up numbers. He is somebody also we gotta look at. D.I. the Hennyman, shouts out to him. He went against Lotto. Lotto coming out of Tampa, Florida, with an average of 1,188 views per battle, 14 battles catalog, still building his name. 16,000 total battles of his battles so far. Shouts out to Lotto. Shouts out to 32 Bars. Go to versetracker.com to see the most recently released battles. And then also that just dropped was Premier Battle League. I believe that's
Premier.
You know who I think that is? They're out of London.
Okay.
And I'm pretty sure Shadi Hara is behind that league. I'm pretty sure that's his league. I'm pretty sure that's his. But yep, they just had
Shadi Hara's numbers is horror. It's crazy.
Yeah, definitely. So basically, You had Bobby Rex Vs Vizual that just dropped on Premier Battles, and this is their Plug 5 event. Bobby Rex Vs Vizual. Vizual coming out of, if I'm correct, Belfast, Ireland. Average views 4,024. Total battles cataloged 20. Total views of those battles 80,481. So okay, his numbers is good. His numbers is good. And he went up against Bob Rex. And Bob Rex, his total battles, also he's coming out of Manchester, United Kingdom. Bob Rex been putting numbers up. Bobby Rex, 42 battles, right? 42. Averaging 27,000 views per battle.
Numbers.
And he's got over 1.1 million views of his battles so far. Shouts out to Bobby Rex.
Numbers.
Shouts out to Premier Battles. Shouts out to Vizual. Make sure y'all go watch that on reversetracker.com.
That's what's up.
But now, other battles going on.
Yo,
recently.
yeah. I mean, yo, Diddy, Sean Combs.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, he, yo, they making moves on him, and best believe he's making moves on them.
I see.
You know what I mean? Like, the way they positioning it right now is like the fact that they went in his cell, took his stuff. That's like, you know, attorney-client privilege. And not only that, he's about to utilize it in such a way where he's going to get the whole thing thrown out. And I would love to see that happen that way, because, you know, for the simple fact that the way I handled him is just been crazy.
No, they definitely done him dirty.
It's like, you know,
he was definitely done dirty.
It's a blueprint. It's a page out of the playbook of what they did to Dr. York, insofar as they sensationalized the media,
facts,
public opinion, no facts at all, and then they got him in such a way where, you know, publicly he was made a monster.
That's a fact.
You know
Same
what I mean?
thing that Bill Cosby.
Exactly.
Took all of his shows off of the television stations, removed the potential our children seeing a show that had family values.
Come on, man.
Mother and father, both employed, occupied, equally spreading out. You know what I'm talking about? And also, come on, man, a wholesome family environment, something to teach the children is now, what is it? Gone.
Bye-bye. And it's interesting. I'm glad you brought Bill Cosby, because, you know, I was, you know, putting together with Diddy and Jay-Z. Well, I ain't even get to Jay-Z yet, but like, you know, with Diddy and them, and entertainers, period,
right,
of our generation. But Cosby's from Dr. York's generation.
Exactly.
And then if you go into Cosby's catalog, a lot of the stuff that he was talking about, you know, you would never see. Like, he used to talk about, you know, York, about what is it?
Ben York.
Ben York.
Yeah, exactly.
He used to talk about, you know.
Yeah, he's got, if you Google, I think it's like he did a special on Black History Month, and he just started showing all of these different pioneers, inventors. It was a whole show that Bill Cosby had, and you could Google it, you know, Bill Cosby on Black History Month. And my man, when you hear this information and when you see what he was doing in, like, what was that, the 70s?
Right.
Yeah, it was incredible.
It's crazy, because see what happens when you say Ben York, right? Ben York is synonymous with Native Americans, and when you say Ben York is synonymous with Native Americans, you'll get to understand how, you know, black folks are as tied into the Constitution just like Native Americans are. Like, you know, because, you know, you had the African that came through slavery, but then you had
you just hit a debatable topic for real, because, you know, which is, everything you say in the facts, yet now you have a whole community, this ADOS, I don't even know what it stands for. Somebody, you know, you guys know, right? But it's something dealing with Africans in America, or that they say they're just not African, that they were the indigenous only, right? Not understanding that everybody that came over to the Americas were people that traveled. There's nobody indigenous to the Americas. That's why when they do genealogy, you're not seeing American Indian as something that stands out. You're seeing the races. You're seeing people coming from Europe. You see people coming from, man, all of these people that claiming they have Native American blood, the reason that they can't find an American Indian when they do the genetics is because those Africans or those indigenous people that you call Native Americans came over. All of them came over, whether they were from China, whether they were from India, Africa, right? And the last were the Caucasians, because you had Africans coming here for thousands and thousands of years, Asians coming here for thousands and thousands of years, and you also had Indians coming here. So
that was the point I was getting at. The point I was getting
Indians from India, by the way. Yeah, go ahead.
The point I was getting at is when you talk about Ben York, right? It allows you to identify how Africans or black people are tied into the Constitution. And when you go into the Constitution, you know, black folks are not recognized as people in the Constitution. How do you know that? By way of the Dred Scott case. The Dred Scott case is when this guy was like, yo, I wanna do this case because I'm a free man. And you know he went through all the procedures to win the case as a free man, right? They said, nah, you was never intended to be free.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And this is Supreme Court.
Yeah, they were saying that they basically were saying that Africans in America were never intended to have the same rights as their white counterparts.
You heard?
So that basically, that being said, he couldn't sue his former slave owner.
Right.
You know, and so that Dred Scott case is still sitting at the Supreme Court. You know, it was never appealed. And you know, when it comes to Supreme Court cases, because you know we have three government, what do they call that?
Legislative bodies.
Three different bodies. There's a word for it, but yeah, executive, legislative, and judicial.
Right.
So that is still sitting in the judicial laws, right? And that, you know, that's, you know,
it's
what
on
they
the
call
books.
Case law,
right?
You know, when you hear precedents and stuff like that,
right,
they're usually using and quoting previous cases that took place. So that Dred Scott case is still there, never appealed, never repealed. Now, what they do have, of course, what they did wind up coming up with was the 14th Amendment,
right,
which is legislative.
Right.
That's why I wanted to make sure I made the differentiation.
Right. And the thing about it is, the reason why I say that is because, you know, Bill Cosby at that time was dropping some major gems.
Definitely.
So, like, you know, like Sakar just broke down that, you know, our children will never get to see, you know, Mr. Puddin' Man or, you know, Fat Albert or a lot of the classics that he was breaking down to give you jewels, because that was his way of in darkening the people's mind, letting you know, okay, this is what it really is. But you know, it's now gone. Right. And Ben York was a part of that. You follow what I'm saying? And once you go into deeper with the Ben York thing, you find out how we were actually we should recognize how we was tied into the Constitution by way of the indigenous Native Americans. You follow what I'm saying?
Right.
Because, well, you just think I'm black, I'm a slave, you know what I'm saying? Or I'm just black. You know, when you look at yourself as just being black, that's when you go into the Dred Scott case of identifying the fact that you was never intended to be a citizen, because you can't get the equal rights as the white counterpart. So that's just interesting in itself, how they was able to wipe that away.
No, it definitely
you know
is.
What I mean? So when you go into Diddy and Sean Combs, you know what I'm saying? And if they do, like I said, if they did anything that's incorrect and they caught them on a foul, then that's what that is. But the fact of the matter is, right now, Diddy's legacy as a great businessman, right? You know, a music producer,
right?
All these different things is man,
to say the least,
man, being wiped away. And then guess who's is affiliated with this is Jay-Z. What's crazy about what's crazy about that is they went straight to it. He had sex with a 13-year-old. So the moment you hear that he had sex with a 13-year-old, right, it's like, okay, that's an automatic tarnish, right? Automatic mud on your white clothes, right? You follow what I'm saying? So now you gotta, it's an uphill battle to try to get that mud off.
Same thing now.
You know what I'm saying?
Now potentially destroying all the great works that Jay-Z had put in. You know, Rockefeller. You know, all the music he's made, all the artists he's made into billionaires. You know, Kanye West, Rihanna.
Super Bowls might be an issue. You know
Right,
what I'm saying?
right. You saw 50 Cent. That's, I mean, he's joking, but then
that's a real
Yeah,
statement. That's
because-
a real
yeah,
question.
yeah.
Because them guys not listen here. Look. You already got a saw that's talking about
Yeah.
a pedo.
Right.
And now you're talking about the promoter, the head promoter that put the thing together might be a pedo.
Wow.
You know what I mean, we're not. Come on, man.
Wow.
We don't want to deal with this type of action. I mean, we like one of the biggest entertainment,
Definitely.
you know what I mean, providers.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying, yearly, and they might, you know what I mean. So it's like, I don't know, and it was strategic. It was strategically done. You know what I mean. First, get the public opinion. That's why I said it was a playbook out of Dr. York situation, because that's what they did. They got the public opinion situated, and once they got the public, nothing else mattered.
exactly.
Nothing else mattered. But you know, I hope the best for, you know, these guys, because if it is a shakedown, you know what I mean, let it show itself on its face. You know what I
Right,
mean?
right. No, 100%. But yeah, Jay-Z, man, he definitely he put out a statement. He said, "I mourn yet another loss of innocence." He is what's it called? He also lamented that he and his wife Beyonce will likely have to address the claims with their 3 children and explain the cruelty and greed of people.
Especially with Blue Ivy.
Yeah, exactly. But they already, you know, they already hitting. They went out the other night. They went out to I guess Blue Ivy is doing the voiceover for one of the Lion King, on Broadway or something like that. One of the characters in the Lion King. So they went out to support her. This was just yesterday. Is it maybe Sunday? Either yesterday or Sunday. Either which way, they went out. They basically, you know, Beyonce, him, Blue Ivy. They wanted to show like, listen, we still in support, you know. We still, you know, basically a unified showing that, like,
Right,
we not hurt by what just came out.
Right,
like,
it ain't phased.
We're not phased.
Nah,
exactly.
we're still living life
Exactly.
normally. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
You ain't gonna
exactly.
keep us inside the house because of this stuff right here.
Exactly.
And you know, again, it's all strategic. I think, you know, Diageo.
No, it's Diageo.
Yeah, Diageo.
Yes.
You know, had a hand in it in
Right.
Diddy's situation because
Definitely.
of how he sued him.
Definitely.
You know what I mean, you gotta listen to. See, you have to listen to a lot of these other players. Like,
Right.
you know, like 50's like, I'm not suing them dudes. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man. Them guys are major. Like, for him to say.
But he did though. He did sue. He sues Beam Suntory. I don't know what happened if the lawsuit, you know, got kicked out. But yeah.
Whatever he did,
Right.
he ain't do it into the degree.
Nah, he definitely
where-
slowed down.
Where
He definitely
you know,
slowed down.
It's not gonna.
We talked about it on the other show. I pulled it
Exactly.
up, and I just know that it got announced. I think this was earlier this year or last year.
Exactly.
And then all of a sudden, you know, I don't know if he repealed it or, I mean, like removed it from out of the court.
Right.
Or, you know, or proceedings didn't start yet.
Right.
But it definitely is now quiet.
You know what I'm talking about? But then your man Sean
Right.
Carter, you know what I mean? He did sue Bacardi. You follow what I'm saying? And won.
Right.
So now, you never know who's behind who and who's doing what to really be able to
Yeah.
push.
Yeah. That's a
this.
fact.
This
That's
is
a fact.
This is an agenda right
That's
here.
a fact.
So okay, you caught us over here.
Mhm.
Yeah, you caught us on the foul. Yeah, we won. We gracefully bowed out. But now, you know, your enemies. How you say that's
Your enemy, my enemy's enemy is my best friend.
You know what I mean? So
Exactly.
I never really understood what that meant, but then as years goes on, I really overstand what that means. So like now, it becomes a situation where you don't know who's partnering up to push an agenda from something that happened over there. So you might not even be looking over there. You're trying to figure out what's really going on, but I got together. Yeah, I'm using her, or I'm using them, or I'm using him
Right.
to go ahead and push that agenda because you thought you caught me over there.
Right.
But nah, this is a long haul fight. This
Yeah,
ain't-
nah, that's how they fight.
you know what I mean? It's a
That's
long.
how they fight.
And then but then you know.
That's how they fight. Everything that's been going on right now with us as a people has been implemented 40 years ago.
40,
You know, the drug
40, 50.
campaigns, the
Yeah,
programming
man,
of the mind of our children and stuff like that.
Right.
You know, and, you know, again, it's the potential, you know, because, you know, something that Dr. York always said. He said, when they assassinate somebody, and when you think assassination, don't just think the assassination physically, because there's also a characteristic assassination, which, you know, it can go further because now it damages the work that you may have put down for 10, 20, 30 years, several decades. So, and now knowing the potential of where Jay-Z could be, where could he be? Where could Diddy be? Like, where could they be if they decide, like, you know, okay, this is the agenda that we're going to take up? You know, you already kind of see it with reform, you know, because they have been making some headway, you know, because they sued several prisons. They had the issue in Memphis where, like, I think there was like, you know, prisoners getting killed, or, you know, it was, you know, and like nobody, either which way, it was a situation with the Memphis prisons. I know Reform was heavily involved in that, you know. So I mean, I don't know, what's it called, Van Jones. I know Trump, they were trying to make fun of Van Jones, you know, about how he came in begging about those different the legislation or the laws that Trump passed to assist prisoners. I know one of them was the Step Act.
Right,
First Step Act, right? There were several of them. And, you know, Van Jones helped to push those things. Van Jones, of course, was with Jay-Z. You see them a lot. They were talking about these subjects and so on and so forth. So you have a person like Jay-Z, Reform, right? Along with those, you know, influencers and founders and funding agents, because, you know, some of them are basketball owners and, you know, team owners and stuff like that. So their influence now onto Van Jones, and then from Van Jones onto Trump. And then now you had laws passed that were definitely beneficial to African Americans.
See,
you know,
and one thing I want you guys to understand, right? The difference between what's going on right now and say a Dr. York, you know, because I started it with that by saying that they took a page out of that particular playbook, right? So when you look at what's going on, these guys got money to really fight this thing on that level, right?
Right.
They have contacts that's really able to lobby, you know what I mean, and really make things happen in real time. Whereas Dr. York didn't, you know what I mean? That's why he's been in jail for 20 years.
Right.
You follow what I'm saying? The little bit of money that Bill Cosby had, right? Like I remember his wife was saying they were selling paintings that was worth like millions of dollars, but based on the situation,
to pay for the legal fees,
pay for the legal fees, but the value of the paintings wasn't there. You know what I mean? Like people wasn't even
they devalued it.
They devalued it, so he couldn't even really fight.
Right.
So that's why Bill Cosby did the time that he did.
Right.
You follow what I'm saying? So could you imagine if he really had the bread?
Nah, he wouldn't have come on those 50-year-old allegations,
you know what I mean? 50-year-old allegation as a 70-plus-year-old man, blind.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? So it's like, I just got to really comprehend what's really going on when it comes to public opinion and you as a status as a person. Like, you know, Diddy was talking about what? Having a party. You know, when he was talking about revolt.
Right.
What he was talking about, like, you know, major movements as a people coming together. What he was talking about, love. You know what I mean? Like he came in as the love man, like this love, the fact that he was using love as a whole branding campaign. You know what I mean? Because some people are gonna be like, all right, cool, I'm with that love campaign. I'm not with the hate. You know what I'm saying? Because it's either love or hate. You get what I'm saying? It's either cold or hot. You know what I'm saying? So. Yeah, just got really people's really going on, man, and that's the day and time we're in right now, because now Jay-Z got shooken up. You know what I mean? If he wasn't like, yo, thinking it was all good, I'm moving, you know, corporate, you know what I'm saying, I'm getting to the money, yeah, but then he did a smack him in the back of his neck, like, wow, wake up,
smack in the back of his head.
Yo, check this out.
Right.
We could get you too.
Right.
And you just said to make it criminal. All right.
Right.
Don't be surprised if it goes from civil to criminal.
Yeah. Because I mean,
and don't be surprised if they start mounting this thing up, and then boom, you find yourself having to get turned in.
Right.
They going back to Marcy. They going back to, you know what I'm saying? Like they come on, they don't play fair.
Then you got the government in your business now because their business partner they bought Damon Dash's portion of Rockefeller. So I don't know if they
play fair.
I don't know if that gives them access to actual files.
Yo, listen.
But you know, maybe a lot of that stuff been destroyed. I don't know. Listen. Like, you know, maybe nothing was ever done wrong back then either. But you know, like Dame Dash's attorney said, I don't know why you would want to have the government in your business.
I'm just saying
he could have bought that and then, you know, just got that out the way. But, you know, it is what it is.
It's all debatable.
And now, you know, unfortunately, he's done built up a, you know, there's, you know, a lot of people against him.
Statute of limitations.
You got 50 Cent that got issues with Jay-Z, you know what I'm talking about.
Is it really issues of competition?
I mean, yeah, but the fact that he shut him down and wouldn't allow him to perform, he created the issue.
He created a wonder, like, what's that all about?
He created the issue, you know, because now he's been on talking about it several different places, and then the situation with, you know, Wayne and Kendrick Lamar and Louisiana, you know, maybe both of them could have performed. I mean, either which way, you know, everybody, nobody's ever going to be happy, you know what I'm saying? Somebody always going to be upset, especially if you're successful. We just, you know, I definitely hope, again, the same way I hope Diddy, you know, it gets a fair shake, you know, and gets proven innocent, because I don't see what he's done wrong so far.
Right.
I don't see what he's done wrong, because if it's about, you know, again, same thing for Jay-Z, you know, I hope for the best for that guy, because again, these brothers have done a lot for hip hop. They've done a lot for African Americans.
Culture,
their money has trickled down to assist many of people. So
a lot of jobs, man. A lot of people getting fed.
Facts.
I'm just saying, like, you know, just got to really pay attention to that. You know what I mean? You got to pay attention.
Nah, paying attention is 1,000%. We tell y'all all the time, like, you know, even for that to come out all of a sudden, you don't, you know, that's the big thing in the media. Not saying that, you know, it's not important, but you never know what else is going on. Like, I wound up, like I told y'all should go on Russian Times. Y'all should go on CGTN and see what's popping. I went on Russian Times this morning and I found out that Israel is invading Syria. Like, I'm like, and being backed by the United States.
Crazy.
So I mean, Israel has launched a large-scale attack on the targets in Syria, with warplanes pounding at least 3 airports and other infrastructures following the demise of the former President Bashar Assad's government. So remember, they just took the president down. Remember, you didn't hear nothing about Syria for a long time.
Nah.
I know that there was some chemical warfare going on out there at some point. Remember, there was alleging that the Iranian president was using chemical weapons over there, and whatever was going on inside of Iran. There was something inside of Syria. I do remember the chemical warfare situation, and then all of a sudden, the conversation in Syria just dropped to like a whisper. I didn't hear anything. Then all of a sudden,
that's how they play too, man.
So when we was the other day, we were looking at like, you know, the different Middle Eastern countries, right? You know, and then it was like, damn, Syria. I hadn't even heard nothing about them in a long time. And they used to be big in the garment industry.
Right.
You know, when I used to work at Rough Rider Clothing, you know, in Manhattan, we was, you know, in the garment industry. Their company was called Plymouth Mills. The owner was Syrian, and a lot of the Syrians were involved in the fabric, you know, the fabric business or whatever. So either which way, you know, so all of a sudden you don't see this on CNN, you don't see it nowhere. And the thing is, and they're being backed by the United States. And again, this is according to the Russian Times, that this attack on Syria is being backed by the United States. But then the United States just had the rebel leader on CNN. So it's just like a lot of games, and that's why opening our mind, you know, and, you know, tapping into these other resources in this age. I don't know if we're still in the information age or if we transitioned into another age yet or whatever, but yo, it's so much information and opportunity out to level the playing ground. But then you'll be able to see the holes in the situation. So then it gives you a better way of reasoning, you know, being able to go ahead and take this information and be able to make decisions about, like we said, if you're in a place where everybody is getting shot all the time, maybe you don't need to be in that place anymore. Maybe you can move, you know, and it gives you to start looking at things from a global perspective. But
it's debatable.
It's debatable.
But look, listen, everything you just said just now is 1,000%. And you know what we need to do as a community is definitely come together as on one mind. Like I always say it, man, battle rappers are the most intelligent people on the planet. And I feel like this is why, you know, you guys got to become masters in y'all individual communities, man. That's the responsibility that y'all got. You follow what I'm saying? Because y'all have the ability to put wordplay together, put word games together, you know, theatrically, you know, demonstrate, you know, your thought process while you're going against somebody, outwitting them. So at the same time, you gotta, when you know, on your off time, you gotta be able to take responsibility of your community and see how you're gonna take these young kids and you know and train them and guide them into a better place, because they're not playing fair at all. Because look, if they could take away a Jay-Z, a Diddy, who you think they're gonna take away next? 50 might think he cool, he's straight, he's moving the lines politically correct, but look, they're not allowing none of us to become financially, you know, strong. How you know that? You talk to Claude Anderson, you know, and his whole thing with Powernomics is like, yo, look, if the fact that we don't got no financial structure in this new age that we're coming into, we ain't gonna be able to survive. Cause you see how they just open up the borders over there and flooded the. You have to understand, you can't. There is no real line between Venezuela, Mexico, and America. That's all the Americas, and that means that they all belong there. You follow what I'm saying? So if they come in there, they was already there from the beginning anyway.
Right.
Another conversation for another day.
Sure, definitely is, because Trump is about to remove birthright, even birthright citizenship.
So that means all of them.
Yeah, when I said I saw birthright citizenship, so you saying if you're born in America, but you're not American no more? That, you know, because that used to be the law.
Yeah, but
as long as you was
born in the United
States.
Yeah, that's how they was able to stay.
I mean, all sorts of people. That's how they was able to stay. All the you know, the people coming from Mexico, Venezuela, people coming from the continent, Africa, people coming from Europe. That's how they've been able to do it.
Right, but I mean, so
for him to remove that, it's pretty crazy.
It's pretty drastic. So,
yeah, definitely.
So
no, he's already letting you know he's about to pardon everybody, pardon all of those January 6th individuals. I guess now it's like yo, it's no more hiding anything, because you know,
yo, you gotta pay attention,
these
man.
guys took the gloves off, so I'm gonna go ahead and take the gloves off too. Plus, I don't think he could do another term, so this is just really anything goes. Whatever he wants to throw at the wall and sticks, man. You know, if it sticks, it stays.
Yo, for real, yo, y'all gotta pay attention. I think this debatable situation for me is pay attention, because like, yo, look, the fact that they're going on Jay-Z so hard, I have never seen Jay-Z on Instagram this much before in my life. You know what I'm saying? Like right after his birthday, or a little bit. I think they hit him right after his birthday, December 4th.
Yeah.
Interesting. By December 5th, they were on him. So they allowed him to do it because I was seeing the publicity about his birthday, his mom. I was hearing his mom's voice and everything else. But now they're like, they on him. And for me, it hit home because he's a Kings County baby. But not only that, I'm like, man, this guy been really moving a certain type of way, deliberately. Meaning, he been staying out the way. He's been moving like Obama. Let me say it that way. He's been moving like Obama. Why he's been moving like Obama? Obama had power, but Obama only did certain things because he ain't want to ruffle no feathers. You follow what I'm saying? That's what I felt.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, okay, but then he also did what they wanted him to do also, because he had the ability to unite people, unite countries, you know, handle international warfare and handle international things in a major way. But all the real tough issues, he kind of left alone. Now he's doing reform. He's doing all these different things. You know, he's doing small things, but he ain't doing no major nothing. And then they still attack him. So if they're gonna attack someone like that, because like he wasn't like a boisterous like Diddy. What Diddy saying? I know I'm from the block. I'm from the muck and the mire. You know what I'm saying? So I know who I am. You know what I'm saying? So and he started naming names and saying like, yo, look, if I'm able to do these things, you know what I'm saying, and I'm gonna do these things because I'm for the people or whatever the case is. So you got certain sophisticates that's hearing this.
Right?
Oh, you about to do that? Yeah, all right. You think you're about to do that, but we got you.
Exactly.
So now, you know, when it comes to your
projections,
your man Jay-Z, he's not talking like that.
No.
You barely hear him talk.
No, but he was actually the reform. He was doing his thing. That is something. You can't, I mean, you know.
I'm not saying no.
Yeah, and I mean, of course we expect people to do more. You know, especially with, you know, Jay-Z's type of background. That's why I say it was
like an Obama approach. You know what I'm saying? He did what he did.
Yeah. I felt like he was actually taking stronger positioning than even Diddy, because of the fact that he did form a whole entity that was, you know, based on criminal reform, and he was funding it, and he even got Caucasians. He had all these people with money. He got all these people with money behind it, and they actually, you know, they launching attacks. The attacks that they launching might not be like, you know, how we would want to see them. They definitely not like the Black Panther attacks from the 60s and the 70s. They're not the Nation of Islam attacks, they're using a different type of form, and their form is like, okay, let's come into, by way of legislation. And, these things take 10 years to settle in before you could even see any. When you go by way of like legislation, it doesn't happen overnight. You get what I'm talking about?
Right.
Because again, that's the whole concept of systemic. But so you have to enter into the system, and then or either plant seeds in the system for change, or uproot things that are issues, and that doesn't happen overnight. So I was just thinking that, Jay-Z has actually been making some, even though Diddy made some comments, he did the voting thing, get out the vote or whatever, but I never really, that's about it.
I said Diddy was very vocal, but your man made a couple of steps.
He made a couple of statements, but I don't think you could compare it to what Jay-Z actually been doing. Like the implementation, and I'll pull it up on the next ones. Like I said, Reform, I think as recent as like a month ago, Reform was making another move on a situation in the South, another what's it called, penal system, if I'm correct. But the point is that if you look at, he really has been doing some work, so now again, it still might not be what we want, because again, I was always a fan of Nas, because I felt Nas put information in the music,
right?
And I never felt, and I always, when I met him, I was like, I didn't like Jay-Z because he didn't really do that for me.
Right.
Jay-Z was more so talking about all these different things, these, money and
glamorous life.
Yeah, all of that. But again, I think over time, the time he's really actually been kind of active, like, in a sense, in comparison, like even with what he did with the NFL. I know people are like, oh, but he definitely kind of just transformed the halftime show. He definitely reincorporated us into the whole situation,
right,
as far as African people in America. So I
mean, these are great. These are great perspectives, man.
And again, it's what projections,
right.
So if the FBI, or the CIA, these,
entities,
that were put in place to take out the potential Black Messiah, COINTELPRO, and things of that nature, they definitely looking at like, okay, if Jay-Z keep going, he might, I'm not saying he'll be president, but he might be able to put somebody in power. He might be able to, and again,
you just said something.
We're not looking at the chessboard the way they looking at the chessboard.
You just said something.
The way they looking at the chessboard, obviously is total domination. That from, again, they in Syria right now.
Right.
The Iran Contra, they didn't care to just sell drugs to blacks in America.
Right.
In order to
fund,
their invasion, just to stop Russia, who they were partnered with anyway. What I'm talking about? It's like, so like the chess that they're playing is definitely, I can't say that I understand or the board, but you got to know that they playing it. And then they seeing individuals, if you can move more, you're not just a pawn. Like individuals like Jay-Z have now elevated out of the pawn space, whether we like it or not. Like that dude is definitely moving across the board differently than you and I can, the average African in America.
I got 5 passports.
See, I'm never going to jail. It's funny that you say that, because I was always wondering, like, I'm like, okay, but that's dope. I'm hoping, just like Muhammad Ali used to talk things into existence, he's also talked that into existence as well, where he's not gonna go to jail. He put himself in position, he has all the protections necessary, but we'll see. But the point is that Jay-Z actually, and again, of course, it's to a degree, so like, of course, he's not doing a lot more than we would expect or we would want, I would think, but he definitely did more than Diddy. Based on,
I agree.
Based on,
I agree.
The evidence that I've seen. So I'm hoping, definitely comment in the comments, to let us know if anything that you see that Diddy might have done. And again, I want Diddy to be free. Because again, I have not yet to hear anything, because when you talk about people that you know, did different things for a job. You know what I'm talking about? Or
Right.
you signed something and you knew what you was getting into.
Right,
Like, you didn't have to
right.
do that. So
Yeah.
if you agreed to do some sort of sexual favor for this man for a
You got
job,
hired.
come on, man.
Work
Like,
for hire.
yeah, you know, and then that's not even the case that I'm hearing is being brought
Nah,
up against him.
nah,
So like,
nah.
I'm yet to hear, other than him being a freak. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've yet to see really what
The charge is trafficking.
you know.
You know
so,
what I mean?
so they have to prove it. They have to prove it at the end of the day. But
Human
yeah,
trafficking.
but it's debatable.
Debatable.
All right, man. Yo, man. Y'all have a wonderful day, successful day, and we'll see y'all tomorrow.
Peace.